Good morning, guys. Welcome back. As you can see, we are doing more tomatoes. I wasn't going to bring you along for this recipe, but then I was like, why not? Why not do it? So, today we are doing stewed tomatoes. Now, there are tons of people doing stewed tomatoes, and there's recipes out the wazoo for stewed tomatoes. The ball stewed tomato recipe, and I have it here so that I could reference it for today, because you'll see people all the time putting in tons of vegetables and then doing it for the same time as the bulk canning book states. So it says for stewed tomatoes, 4 quarts of chopped tomatoes, which I did in fact measure my chopped tomatoes. For every 4 quarts, you can use a cup of celery, a half a cup of onion, and a 1/4 cup of pepper, green bell pepper. Now, to me, that is not near enough of what I want. So, I added more tomatoes, but also I added more pepper and onion. So because I did that, I have to adjust my time. So I have 7 quarts of tomatoes, chopped tomatoes. And the reason I know that I want it this way instead of the way the ball does is I've already done 7 quarts of this. And it's absolutely fabulous. So I have to recreate it. So I have 7 quarts of chopped tomatoes. I have about 3/4 of a cup of peppers. It was 1 large and 1 small bell pepper. And then 2 medium-sized onions. They weren't super big. They were about this size. So they aren't big onions. 2 of those, a whole bulb of garlic that I took the skin off and threw in. And to this, I am adding some salt and pepper. So there's a tablespoon. Half a tablespoon, and you can always adjust the salt and pepper aren't mandatory, but I'm telling you, this is so good. Like, I need all of it on my shelf. 2 tablespoons of black pepper, and now all we're gonna do is bring this up to a boil and then let it simmer for 10 minutes, and then we can start jarring it up. But because I added more onion and more pepper, bell peppers, I'm going to adjust my time so that it accommodates that. So I'm going to let it go for 40 minutes. I was going to do 35 for my pints, but I'm just going to go ahead and do 40 minutes for pints or quarts, just because it's not going to hurt any of this. And it's a stewed tomato, so the longer it cooks, the better it's going to be. So yeah, so I'm going to let this go. And then I hope you stick around for the finished product. It's just so good. And then the next video you'll see of mine is going to be salsa. And then I may actually be done with tomatoes this year. I'm going to do a jalapeno salsa, which is different than what a lot of people do. So I'm really excited to show you guys that. So, but that's a different video. So stay tuned, and I'll bring you back when we're jarring this up. Alright, so it is time to can up our delicious stewed tomatoes. And let me show you real quick what it looks like. I love the consistency of it. But this stuff, I don't know why I've never done stewed tomatoes before. I have no idea, because I'm telling you, I wish I would have done this instead of regular diced. I'm going to do it in quarts again, and that's what I did with my first batch. And if there's any left over, then I'll do those in pints. But I can already tell you, I'm going to be using this for soups and stews. I'll use it for chili, use it for Mexican, use it, I just lost my train of thought. Really, using, spaghetti sauce. I can puree it up and use it as a pasta sauce or keep it rustic, but it's just, and it's so versatile since I didn't add anything except salt and pepper seasoning wise. So I can make it how I want it. Now, you do have to still add an acid. We are pressure canning, and like I said earlier in the video, I'm going to go ahead and do 40 minutes. That's what I did for the last batch, and that's what I'll do for this one, just because I added some extra vegetables. If you did exactly like the ball book says, which is for every 4 quarts, half a cup of onion, 1/4 cup of pepper, it would go for 20 minutes in the pressure canner at 10 pounds of pressure. And then you want, I like to do more on the side of a inch of headspace, but it says a 1/2 inch. I just get better results and less siphoning, sometimes no siphoning, if I go ahead and just give it that inch of headspace. So that is what I'm doing. Oh, but let me go ahead and show you. It says in the book to use lemon juice, but I don't like adding lemon juice because I can taste it. So I always add the citric acid, which is interchangeable with lemon juice, just so you know. And so for a quart, you want a 1/2 teaspoon. And since I know I'm going to fill all these up, I'm going to go ahead and put my 1/2 teaspoon in every jar. And then my lids are in hot water. And I have my rings. I have vinegar for my rim. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you one up close. Get my lid. And a ring. My rings have just lived in my mixer pot, my mixer bowl. And there we go. That is beautiful. And you can see, I don't know if it's picking up, you can see my pepper. The black pepper. Oh, this stuff is amazing though. And it is not too, it's not too spicy. And it's not too salty at all. It's really just wonderful. It is just really, really, really good. It tastes like a soup already. Like if you were to do like a quart of this and a pint of some home canned beef, have a vegetable beef soup, maybe open up a can of green beans to throw in. Easy, fast food, and you know exactly where all of it came from. So, I'm going to continue doing this. Oh, and you don't need to debubble. There's no need. It's liquid. I'm going to continue doing this, and then they will pressure can 10 pounds of pressure for 40 minutes, and that's just being on the safe side. I could probably do it less, but I just know that 40 minutes is good for onions and it's good for peppers, so that's why I'm doing 40. Always gotta be safe. So I will bring you back here in a little while. Alright, here is the finished product of the stewed tomatoes. So I ended up getting 7 quarts and 5 pints out of that batch, and then I also have an additional 7 quarts that I did before this. So I am really happy, and this product, it's perfect. It's the consistency of a store-bought crushed tomato, which is exactly what I was wanting, and the taste is phenomenal. Like, I'm so excited to get to using this. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to get these cleaned up and put them in my pantry. See you guys next time.